bitten by a snake. Yeah. A bite of a snake. I was thinking of this last night. My dad used to tell me, be careful of the smiley snake. You know, when I was little, I thought, what does he mean by being careful of the smiley snake? I've seen snakes. I've never seen a snake smile at me. I've seen TV, you know, maybe cobras smile. I don't know. You know, they stand up. But I've never been bitten by a snake. Or have I? You know, snakes come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and you know, and what my dad was talking about wasn't the crawly kind. And you know, I don't like them, plain simple. I know a lot of people that don't like those, you know, slithery little crawly snakes or the big crawly snakes or whatever, but you know, that's not what my dad was talking about when he says, be careful of a smiley snake. You know, I'm not sure where the snake got its, why we're scared of snakes. I'm not sure where this story came from. You know, I do know that back in the Bible in Genesis, beginning, you know, Adam and Eve and the snake tempted Eve, and, you know, and the snake, and I'm sure that was not a real snake. It's probably a term used, kind of like my dad said, be careful of smiley snakes. But I know my dad, years ago, you know, we farmed. We had a neighbor, and you just couldn't trust him. He was always scheming. Our farm, our water to our farm had to come through his field. The canal was here, came through his field to our farm. And he was constantly figuring out ways to shut our water off, to close up the ditch. And one day he did. He plowed the ditch in. And then he tried to go to court after my dad had to go sue him. And he tried to say that we never used any water for a year. Well, that was, you couldn't lie any more than that. Because we raised potatoes, and we raised a lot of potatoes. And the water was what made the potatoes grow, and our grain and our hay. Okay? And we had power bills. We used electric power to pump it. Okay? For him to go to court and try to say we never had any water in that ditch was, I don't know where he thought he was going to get through the court. But, you know, what was interesting with this guy was he was always smiling. He always smiled. And he didn't appear to brush his teeth often. Kind of yellowish teeth. I know we all have stained teeth. You know, maybe snakes have stained teeth too. I don't know. But, you know, sometimes in our life we run into those smiley snakes. They come all ages. You don't have to be older. You can be younger. You can be whatever. You know, smiley snakes. You know, when they sit and lie right to your face, and you end up in an argument because you can't understand why they cannot see, or maybe they can see. I don't know. I don't know what goes through a person's mind when they're trying to lie out of something they've said, a contract they've made, let's say a verbal contract or something that wasn't written. Maybe, let's say, a phone call. Somebody, you got a phone call, and they says, you know, we could really use your services for this. we'd like to have you do this instead of this. It's through the same time. Could you do this? Well, yeah, but here's this one. Let's say an event. You wanted to go see this event, okay? And you kind of work. And this one over here is okay, but they needed some, let's say, professional people, somebody that knew their way around what's going on, to help over here on this one, okay? So that meant you had to give up some of this, okay? So in the process, you think, okay, you tell this person to say, okay, yes, this will be fine, because I know you need me here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I will trade you on one condition. The condition is I get off over here, and they said 6 hours. How long is it going to last? 6 hours. Because you don't want to go over 6 hours, because then they have to pay you extra, okay? More breaks and, more time and all this stuff. So in 6 hours, you're off duty here. So you come over to this other venue in a different building, right? They kind of almost touch each other, because you wanted to listen to a few songs, okay, from this other venue. A singer that you kind of like, it's somebody that you know of, you've never seen them perform, and you'd like to see them sing a few songs, okay? This person says, yeah, I think that would be okay. A little hesitation there. And I went, okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm off the clock. I'm over here. I actually changed my shirt so I would not look in uniform. So if people asked me about this or that or whatever, they wouldn't expect me, I wouldn't mind giving them advice and help them if they got lost or whatever. But I'm not on the clock. Okay? And I don't want to, let's say somebody fell and I was in uniform but not on the clock. We've got another problem here. It could be a legal issue here. So best thing was I changed shirts. So I was not on the clock. Nobody recognized me as somebody that actually works there. So I figured that would be the best thing. So got off the other one. I was released. I came in. I changed my shirt in the locker room. I went in to see a couple of 3 songs. I was met at the door before I got in there. And this person says, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going to go see a couple of 3 songs. Just like we talked about. He says, no, we didn't talk about that. He says, I told you to go see the songs during your break. I said, break? You never said the word break. You never used the word break. Okay, this person's smiling the whole time. And I went, what are you talking about? He says, yeah. He says, I told you you go on your break. Now, we have to back up. They had offered some free tickets to us. I got one from my wife. She came in a separate car with some friends, and she didn't have a ticket for me to sit in a seat, which I didn't need a ticket. I actually worked there. I mean, can't you have some benefits? Like listening to a few songs in the same, like 2 buildings that are, you can almost skip across to each other. And you work there. Isn't there some benefits? Isn't there something that you can be offered, such as listening to a few songs? I'm sure I wasn't going to take anybody's seat. I'm sure I wasn't going to interfere with the performance. I'm sure I wasn't going to hurt anybody. Okay? But this person got mad at me with his smile. And he says, you can't go in here. He says, I told you you can have it on your break. I took my break at 6:30. At 6, by the time I helped 2 people, and another guy had lost his wallet, and I went and helped him. Okay? I was on duty, so, I mean, that was totally different venue. Total different venue. Okay? But I had 3 people I helped. And then I took my break. And I cut my break short because they needed me back over here. Okay? So I says, but the show starts at 7. My break was actually 6:27 when I got off my break, and I'd stepped in and saw my wife for a second. I mean, I'm talking about a minute at the most. And he says, well, that's all you needed. I said, no, I told you I would trade you. See, I could have kept this venue. I could have watched this whole show. Okay? They might have put me, who knows where they might have put me. But there's a good chance I would have watched this whole show. But because they needed me over here. But you know what really gets me? Him lying. Bold face lie. How many of you have faced this same situation where you have had somebody, maybe they smiled at you, maybe they didn't, but the sneaky snake, for some reason, they just think it tells me something about this person. You can't trust them. Their word is worthless. It doesn't matter what they say, their word is worthless because you can't trust a word they say. Nothing. They might be saying some truth sometimes, but you can't trust them because they have declared who they are. They have put this box around them that says, I am a fake. I am a fake. Do they think they're more important? I don't understand. I'd like them to try to run the show on their own. What if everybody walked off? He'd have a, can I use the word devil of a time? Devil and snakes, you know, they kind of fit together, you know. Everybody hates a devil and everybody hates a slithery snake. Not everybody, but I guess there's some people likes devils and snakes. But anyway, I guess there's snake charmers and snake worshipers. And, you know, I mean, that's people's choice. That's everybody's choice. But to blatantly lie, to smile when they lie, trust is over. Never again that you can trust this person. Wouldn't it be nice in life that we didn't have smiley snakes? It'd be nice if we didn't have snakes that didn't smile, but walk on 2 legs. I just go back to my dad's telling me, Steve, be careful of a smiley snake. Hope each and every one you have a great day. And I hope you haven't had to run into situations like this, because they aren't pleasant. It's not my personality to argue, but we got into a real argument. We were screaming at each other. That's not a pleasant deal. It's not. It doesn't have to happen. If he had just gone along with what he had told me, what we had agreed on, nothing would have happened. Nothing. I would not have known he was a smiley snake. The night would have went beautiful. I could have a great time. He would have had a great time. But maybe he rejoices in aggravating people. Maybe that's what gets him off. Maybe he gets turned on by how he can belittle people, how he can put you down, how he feels better than you, how their education, they're smart, they've got this education, they've been to college. You know, and they guess they think they're the only ones that's ever been to college. You know, don't they ever think that maybe somebody they've talked to maybe has as much college or maybe more than they do? But to that person, this person is important. It could be a male or female, makes no difference. Anyway, I hope you don't run into smiley snakes. You know, they just aren't fun. It's kind of like a snake biting you. Nobody wants a snake to bite you because that poisonous venom gets inside you. I'll get the word out here. And you swell up, and sometimes you have to take shots, and people die of snake bites. Something to compare our life to, something to think about. Anyway, I'm Steve Allen, and I'm the country boy, gone city. Quite a thought. Anyway, have a great day. I'll see you, and bye.